Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and NoDQ&A video's affiliate, ringsidenews.com. This is episode number 599. Only one away now until 600. Get your questions in, spring.me/AaronRift, and be sure to check out NoDQ.com for WrestleMania 31 news and rumors, and of course, live results coverage. I will be there in San Jose and Santa Clara to cover the event for NoDQ.com. Now let's get to your questions here. I've gotten a lot of questions from various people regarding the end of Raw this week and if it was overkill for Roman Reigns to take out everybody following the match with Seth Rollins. As I mentioned in the previous video, I do not think Roman Reigns should have been pinned in that match. Roman Reigns should be looking as strong as possible going into WrestleMania. And I know a lot of people out there are saying that is ridiculous. They don't want to see Roman Reigns getting pushed that strongly. But the fact is, what's done is done. Roman Reigns is in the main event of WrestleMania now. There's no going back. It's official. You have to go all the way with it. Roman Reigns needs to look as dominant as possible going into WrestleMania. He is in the main event of the biggest show of the year. He should not be doing jobs, and he should be kicking ass. That's what he should be doing. What he did on Raw was definitely a step in the right direction, especially the big dive over the top and then doing the spear to Rollins in midair. Those are the kind of things that will get Roman Reigns over with the fans. Those kind of spots that are designed to get big pops. WWE needs to be doing that every single week now going into WrestleMania. And moving on here, I got this question here from Godzilla Star. Hey Aaron, do you think Brock Lesnar will snowball the WrestleMania 31 main event match with Reigns as he is having problems with WWE right now? I see a repeat of WrestleMania 20 happening as it stands now. Is there a way to fix this? And if not, what about Reigns? First off, regarding Brock Lesnar, the guy is a professional. He's being paid a lot of money by WWE. One would think he will go out there and he will do his job and give his best performance. With WrestleMania 20, it was somewhat of a different situation because you had two guys that were leaving the company and the crowd just wasn't going to give them a chance at all. Is history going to repeat itself at WrestleMania 31? That is definitely an interesting question to ask. My worry is that the crowd is going to be completely dead for that match. That is what I think is going to happen more likely than anything else. Based off of previous WrestleManias, the crowd tends to get burned out by the main event. It all depends on how the rest of the show goes and the positioning of the matches. But I'm very concerned that the crowd is just going to be quiet for that match. And that's really the worst thing. If the crowd boos Roman Reigns and cheers Brock Lesnar, at least you have heat. Any kind of reaction where the crowd is loud, that's at least a positive because you have the crowd invested in the match. If they're just sitting there dead quiet, to me that would be the biggest disaster for Roman Reigns and the WrestleMania main event. Now, is there a way to prevent that from happening? Going back to that previous question, WWE needs to continue building up Roman Reigns and having him do what he does best, and that's go out there and kick ass. Let Roman Reigns do some cool moves to other guys. Let him dominate all the heels on the roster. Make him look as much of a badass as possible. Minimize the amount of mic time for the guy. Don't have him talk too much. Just let him go out there and, be a beast like Brock Lesnar. Have him be up there at Brock Lesnar's level. That is the best way to ensure that the crowd is invested in that match at WrestleMania. Got this question here from Popcorn Shower. Hey Aaron, isn't it a bit unfair for people to be so harsh towards Reigns' mic skills when he is giving a script that he must follow and the world champion Lesnar has someone else speak for him that has more freedom in his delivery? Paul Heyman. Thanks. Well, you could say that. You could really say that about a number of guys on the WWE roster, not just Roman Reigns. There's a lot of guys that are given scripts and have to recite them word for word. And no doubt WWE has given Roman Reigns some terrible material, but lots of guys get the bad material and are able to overcome it and still make it work. Roman Reigns, I think even if he was given full creative freedom, probably wouldn't be all that great. But then again, maybe he would he would be able to figure out what works for him, by having his own freedom, and maybe he would be a little bit better than he's been. I mean, that is definitely a possibility, but clearly they don't want to take too many chances. WWE, likes to be able to have control, and they like to, script the guys as much as possible. That's just the way that they do business right now, and but I think regardless of the case, Roman Reigns needs to not talk. I mean, Goldberg became a huge superstar, the biggest superstar in WCW history, and he never said a word. And, when Sting was at the peak of his career in WCW, he got over without saying a word. So sometimes less is better. Sometimes you just got to play to the strengths and hide the weaknesses, as Paul Heyman has put it so many times in the past. With Roman Reigns, you just got to let him go out there. The thing that got him over in the first place was being the muscle for the Shield. He would do all the cool moves. He would be, the big guy that did all the high impact moves. That is what he needs to continue doing. If they keep having him talk about suffering succotash and doing all that stuff, crowds are going to continue to boo him out of the building. So WWE knows what doesn't work with him. They need to go in another direction. They know what works with him, and they know what doesn't. So if he continues to not get over, WWE really has nobody to blame but themselves. But the damage may have already been done. All right, this one comes from Mario Warfare 24. Cheers. With Sheamus' return, do you see him returning before WrestleMania and involve himself in the IC title match at WrestleMania? Seems like we got Luke Harper and Daniel Bryan involved in it too. Also just bought a NoDQ.com t-shirt, thanks. Well, thank you for getting the t-shirt, and I will gladly answer your question here. Regarding Sheamus and when he is going to return, one would think he'll be brought back and have an immediate impact. Now, what I don't see happening is him coming back and just getting lost in the shuffle right away. WWE's obviously got some plans for him. They've been showing all the video packages, hyping him up. It wouldn't make sense for him to return and say the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and not win the match, just be one of the bodies in that match. If he's going to come back for WrestleMania, what makes the most sense would be for him to be in a high-profile match. But that doesn't appear to be the case right now. It doesn't look like they're going in the direction of Sheamus versus Bryan, although they still have several weeks they could end up doing that match. But if they don't go with that, the next best thing would be for him to be in the Andre Battle Royal and win the whole thing. That is certainly a possibility. If he's not going to win the Andre Battle Royal, then it would probably be best to just hold him off until after WrestleMania and set him up for a feud at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. But regardless, I think we will see him for sure, by early April at the absolute latest. All right, got this question here from Nikki Sturzu. How do you feel about Alundra Blaze joining the Hall of Fame, and who do you also see joining this year? I guess I'm fine with her being in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's lots of talented women over the years that deserve to be in that haven't gotten in yet. But, when it comes to athleticism and having a lengthy career, and not just WWE, but WCW and the AWA as well, I mean, she had a very good career as a women's wrestler. And she was involved with that whole angle with throwing the women's title in the trash on Nitro. But before that, she had a very credible, lengthy career. And I do feel that she deserves to go in. And, I think it's cool that WWE's having one diva go in every year. I think that's a good pattern to keep. Some people out there thinking, what about China? It just depends, if WWE changes their mind about China and her involvement with adult entertainment. But for now, Alundra Blaze, in my opinion, is a good choice to go in. Who else is going in? Besides Kevin Nash, I think that's pretty much it. I think it's best to keep it, to a minimum when it comes to inductees in 1 year. Doing 8 or 9 people, I think, is overkill. I think 6 or 7 is ideal because eventually you're just going to run out of people. Kevin Nash, I think, is a very good choice. They need a big name who's still alive to go in the Hall of Fame this year, and Kevin Nash fits that bill. So, he's a good choice. I am a little disappointed overall with this year's Hall of Fame class, but, they like to have their celebrity induction. They wanted to put the Bushwhackers in. They wanted to put Rikishi in. So whatever. But, 6 or 7 guys, Alundra Blaze, I'm all good with that. All right, this one comes from What Today. Hey, Aaron, what are your thoughts on the Vince Russo and Chyna interview? I'm pissed off at how Vince, Stephanie, and Triple H treated her. She deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but won't likely happen. Well, going back to that previous question, she absolutely should go into the Hall of Fame, but will she? That is up for debate. And, right now it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But like I said, Bruno Sammartino went in. Ultimate Warrior went in. Never say never. Anything's possible. It could happen down the line, but clearly there's some emotions involved. And, it's a touchy subject because Triple H was romantically involved with Chyna, and you have Stephanie McMahon in the mix, and there's probably some personal feelings. Now, maybe one day, those personal feelings will go away, and they'll all be able to put it behind them and look towards the future and do something special for Chyna and give her that induction. Regarding the Russo and Chyna interview, I don't think Chyna came off very well in that interview, and neither did Russo. It really felt to me like a ploy by Russo to get more subscriptions to his site, and now his site's not even online or whatever. He quit. I don't even know what the deal is. I wasn't really a big fan of it. I think it was just Russo trying to capitalize on the heat, and all the talk about Chyna in the Hall of Fame. And regarding her claims about Triple H, nobody knows what the real deal is, but, people like Sean Waltman are denying it. And, I think, I don't know what the truth is. I don't know if Chyna is stretching the truth. I'm thinking that that's probably the truth, but I don't know. Just my experience seeing Chyna in person and being around her, clearly she's had a lot of issues, and, she has gone down a dark path. So I don't know what the truth is, but I do feel bad for her and how her career ended in WWE. I feel that she should go in the Hall of Fame, and regardless of her past and Triple H and Stephanie, they need to induct her at some point. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest regarding WrestleMania 31. If you enjoyed this video, please share it on Facebook and Twitter. And if you really want to support No DQ&A video, grab a t-shirt from ProWrestlingTees.com. The link is in the description box if you'd like to get a shirt. And on that note, I will see you guys next time for more.